Hello everyone, and welcome to the Ultimate Admiral Dreadnought metas of 2024. The first meta for 1890 in Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts has to be torpedoes. Just load your ship full of torpedo tubes and sail directly at the enemy. A combination of slow speed on most ships as well as horrible accuracy in this time period leads to torpedoes being the only reliable way you can ever do significant damage to enemy battleships. With limited anti-torpedo protection and little to no anti-flooding systems, any torpedo salvo will completely destroy and cripple any ship that it encounters. This means that surprisingly, the most cost-effective ship in this time period is the dreaded torpedo boat. Being under 500 tons and only ever having up to a dozen souls, this ship can destroy an entire battle fleet in a matter of seconds. Just keep in mind that most likely these torpedo boats will not be making it back home. The next meta for Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts in 1900s has to be the battlecruiser. Now I know what you're thinking, isn't the Dreadnought the meta for the early 1900s? Well, actually no. Still going off of the relative inaccuracy of early 20th century weaponry, the speed of a battlecruiser will make it impossible to hit. And combined with its battleship class weaponry, it is more than a match for any ship that it will encounter. A recent update has nerfed the battlecruiser, letting them only have the same amount of armor as a heavy cruiser. However, this will not matter as a battleship will simply be unable to hit the speedy battlecruiser, leaving this as the perfect ship that anyone would desire to have in their navy. The next strategy for the 1910s has to be battleships with high penetration guns and high armor. Now that the Mark III gun has been unlocked for most main guns, accuracy is significantly better, making speed less valuable. This means that the meta is actually the opposite of the previous decades, making a very slow but heavily armored battleship with Mark III main guns, the bigger being the better. It can also be valuable to have guns with longer ranges, as deck penetration is a lot more valuable in this time period. However, good penetration against the main belt works as well. Basically, for the meta to work, you need to make a high armor, high penetration battleship, which will be able to destroy every ship it encounters, while remaining completely untouchable. And sacrificing the speed for armor will also mean that your guns will be much more accurate. The AI will be simply unable to counter a battleship like this. Just remember that more guns is not always better. Next up for the 1920s is HE spam. Typically anything from a 4-inch to an 8-inch gun will do the job. Slap them all over your ship and you'll have so much HE spam flying straight at the enemy that they will not be able to put out those fires quick enough. This is the last decade until generational radar is discovered, so you're better off relying on overwhelming firepower rather than a few couple good placed shells. This means that the number one ship class in this time period is the cruiser. Cruisers are a lot cheaper than capital ships, plus they can punch both above and below their weight class, making them the perfect addition to any admiral's navy. Just be careful not to zoom into the battle too closely, as your computer will most likely fry trying to render all of the gun barrels and fires. And last but not least, for the 1930s onwards we have radar rangefinders. Equipping the latest radar available, as well as using the biggest Mark IV or 5 main guns, will give your ship extreme accuracy. The AI will not be able to counter this, and if fighting player ships, it is required to add radar just to stand a chance, as a ship with even the most basic radar will simply outshoot even the most advanced ships if they do not possess any radar. So make sure to train up your crew, equip the most advanced guns possible, and slap on the highest generation of radar, and you'll be easily sniping the enemy fleet from far outside of their range. And those were the metas of 2024. Leave a comment below saying what your strategies are for Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts. Also, chances are, if you're watching this, you are not subscribed. It's absolutely free and helps me out a whole lot. Well, that's all folks. I'll see you in the next video. Farewell.